Most people meet yoga on a mat. They stretch, they sweat, they breathe a little, they post a picture, and they think, today I practiced yoga. But listen carefully. If your body can bend, but your ego cannot bend, if your spine is flexible, but your mind is still reactive, if your posture is beautiful, but your speech still hurts people, then maybe you have touched the posture, but you have not yet touched yoga. Because Patanjali does not say yoga is touching your toes. Patanjali says Yogaś citta-vṛtti-nirodhaḥ. Yoga is the stilling of the movements of the mind, not the decoration of the body, not the performance of flexibility, not the achievement of a shape. Yoga begins when restlessness begins to dissolve. Stay with me, because this one understanding can change your whole practice. You will stop asking only how deep is my asana, and you will start asking how steady is my mind, how pure is my intention, how conscious is my life. Because asana may prepare the body, but yoga begins when the whole life becomes sadhana. You are flexible, but are you free? You can open your hips, but can you open your heart? You can balance on your hands, but can you balance your anger? You can hold a posture for 1 minute, but can you hold your mind steady for 1 minute? This is the real question of traditional yoga. A flexible body is beautiful, but a steady mind is rare, and a pure heart is even rarer. So never reduce yoga to what the camera can capture. The real transformation begins where the camera cannot enter. In Ashtanga Yog, there are 8 limbs: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Look carefully. Asana is there, but asana is one limb, not the whole tree. Before asana, Patanjali gives Yama and Niyama. That means before the posture becomes deep, life must become honest. Ahimsa, non-harming. Satya, truthfulness. Asteya, non-stealing. Brahmacharya, right use of energy. Aparigraha, non-greed. Then Niyama, Shaucha, purity. Santosha, contentment. Tapas, discipline. Swadhyaya, self-study. Ishvara pranidhana, surrender to the divine. Now pause here. If a person can perform advanced asana but lives in jealousy, comparison, anger, greed, distraction, and ego, is that complete yoga? No. It may be strong practice. It may be fitness. It may be discipline. But traditional yoga is much deeper. Patanjali says sthiram sukham asanam. Asana should be steady and easeful, not restless, not violent, not ego-driven, not only for display. This is where most practitioners misunderstand yoga. The purpose of asana is not to worship the body. The purpose of asana is to prepare the body so the breath can become refined, the senses can become quiet, and the mind can move towards meditation. Asana is one limb, not the whole tree. This one line can change your entire practice. Many people think, if I can do an advanced posture, I am advanced in yoga. But traditional yoga asks, is your speech truthful? Are your senses disciplined? Is your food sattvic? Is your breath calm? Can your mind concentrate? Can you sit in silence? Can your action become offering? So yes, practice asana. Build strength, build steadiness, build flexibility. But never forget, the posture is not the destination. The posture is preparation. The body becomes steady, so the breath can become subtle. The breath becomes subtle, so the mind can become inward. The mind becomes inward, so meditation can begin. That is the traditional direction. Now comes the bridge between body and mind, pranayama. Today, many people think pranayama means breathing exercise. But traditional pranayama is not just air going in and out. Prana means life force. Ayama means expansion, regulation, direction. So pranayama is the discipline of prana. In Hatha Yoga, there is a powerful teaching. Chale vate chalam chittam. When the breath moves restlessly, the mind moves restlessly. When the breath becomes steady, the mind begins to become steady. This is not ordinary breathing. This is inner refinement. That is why traditional yoga does not jump directly from posture to meditation. First, the body is prepared. Then the breath is refined. Then the senses are withdrawn. Then the mind is concentrated. Then meditation flowers. Modern people say, I cannot meditate. My mind runs too much. But the traditional teacher will ask, how is your breath? How is your food? How is your sleep? How is your phone habit? How is your speech? How is your company? How is your daily discipline? Because meditation is not a button. Meditation is the flowering of a prepared life. Pranayama is not breathing exercise. Breathing exercise works with air. Pranayama works with prana. Air moves through the nostrils. Prana moves through life. That is why you can breathe all day and still remain restless. Ordinary breathing is automatic. Pranayama is conscious regulation. It asks you to sit, to become still, to soften the face, to straighten the spine, to slow down, to observe, to not force, to not show off. Do not force kumbhak. Do not compete. Do not practice beyond your capacity. The breath is not something to dominate. The breath is a doorway. When breath becomes disciplined, the mind receives an invitation to become disciplined. Save this before practicing pranayama. Share it with someone who thinks pranayama is only deep breathing. Comment YOG for the 7-day traditional yoga lifestyle guide. Now we enter the deeper part of yoga, Pratyahara. Pratyahara means withdrawal of the senses. But it does not mean hating the world. It does not mean running away from life. It means you see, but you are not pulled. You hear, but you are not disturbed. You taste, but you are not possessed. You use the world, but you are not used by the world. And this is extremely important today because people do not lose their mind only through big desires. They lose it through small distractions. One notification, one reel, one comparison, one comment, one craving, and suddenly the mind has gone outward. Traditional teachings say, Tam yogam iti manyante sthiram indriya dharanam. That state where the senses are held steady is called yoga. Think about that. Yoga is not only when your body is steady in posture. Yoga is when your senses are steady in life. When the phone calls you, but you do not become a slave. When anger rises, but you do not immediately react. When desire appears, but you do not lose discrimination. When praise comes, but ego does not inflate. When criticism comes, but the mind does not collapse. This is yoga off the mat. Then comes Dharana. Dharana means concentration. The scattered mind is gathered towards one point. And when that concentration becomes continuous, unbroken, flowing, it becomes Dhyana, meditation. Meditation is not just closing the eyes. If the whole day you train the mind in distraction, it will not suddenly become meditative at night. If the whole day you train the mind in comparison, it will not suddenly become peaceful in prayer. If the whole day you train the mind in reaction, it will not suddenly become silent in meditation. Your day is preparing your meditation. Your food is preparing your meditation. Your speech is preparing your meditation. Your company is preparing your meditation. Your screen habits are preparing your meditation. Your reactions are preparing your meditation. This is why yoga is a way of living. Now, the Bhagavad Gita makes this truth even more powerful. Bhagwan Krishna does not teach yoga only in a forest. He teaches yoga in the middle of life, in the middle of duty, in the middle of confusion, in the middle of responsibility, in the middle of inner conflict. He tells Arjuna, Yogas thaha kuru karmani. Be established in yoga, then perform action. And then he says, Samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity is called yoga. This means when success comes, do not lose yourself. When failure comes, do not break yourself. When praise comes, remain steady. When insult comes, remain steady. When life goes your way, remain humble. When life tests you, remain awake. That is yoga. And then Krishna says, Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Yoga is skill in action, not careless action, not egoistic action, not action full of anxiety. Skillful action means doing what must be done with full awareness, without becoming a slave of the result. This is why your office can become yoga, your family life can become yoga, your teaching can become yoga, your service can become yoga, your struggle can become yoga. If awareness is there, if surrender is there, if equanimity is there, ordinary action becomes sadhana. Your real yoga begins after practice ends. When you roll up the mat, yoga is not over. Now the real test begins. How do you speak to your family? How do you treat the person who cannot benefit you? How do you eat when nobody is watching? How do you work when there is no applause? How do you respond when life does not go your way? That is yoga. Bhagavad Gita says, Samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity is yoga. Not only posture, not only flexibility, not only closed eyes. Evenness, awareness, selfless action, inner steadiness. So ask yourself today, did my practice make me more truthful, more disciplined, more compassionate, more grateful, more surrendered? If yes, yoga is entering your life. Save this as your daily self-check. Share it with someone who wants real yoga, not only posture. Comment yoga for the 7-day traditional yoga lifestyle guide. Now, one more teaching is very important. The Gita says, yoga is not for the one who eats too much or eats too little, not for the one who sleeps too much or sleeps too little. Krishna says, Yuktahara viharasya yuktasestasya karmasu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. For the one who is moderate in food, recreation, action, sleep and waking, yoga becomes the destroyer of sorrow. This is very practical. Yoga is not extremism. Yoga is not laziness. Yoga is not torture. Yoga is not indulgence. Yoga is not suppression. Yoga is intelligent balance, a sattvic life, a disciplined body, a refined breath, a steady mind, a pure intention, a surrendered heart. So from today, make your practice simple and complete. Begin the day with remembrance. Before touching your phone, sit for 1 minute and offer the day. May my thoughts be pure. May my speech be truthful. May my action be useful. May this day become sadhana. Then move the body. Practice asana not to impress but to prepare. Then regulate the breath. Practice simple pranayama according to your capacity. Do not force. If you have medical conditions, learn from a qualified teacher. Then sit for meditation. Even if the mind wanders, sit. Even if only 5 minutes are possible, sit. The mind has wandered for years. Give it discipline. Give it patience. Give it love. Then practice yoga through food. Eat with awareness. Eat in moderation. Eat what supports clarity, lightness and steadiness. Then practice yoga through speech. Before speaking, ask, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it coming from ego or clarity? Then practice yoga through action. Work sincerely, serve quietly, offer the result. Do not lose your soul in success or failure. And at night, practice swadhyaya. Ask yourself, where did I lose awareness today? Where did I react? Where did I act from ego? Where did I remember the divine? Where did I become more conscious? This is how life becomes your teacher. So remember, yoga is not against asana. Yoga includes asana. But yoga is much more than asana. Asana prepares the body. Pranayama refines the prana. Pratyahara turns the senses inward. Dharana gathers the mind. Dhyana deepens awareness. Karma Yoga purifies action. Bhakti softens the heart. Swadhyaya awakens understanding. Surrender dissolves ego. This is real traditional yoga. So do not ask only how was my practice. Ask how was my presence, how was my breath, how was my speech, how was my food, how was my action, how was my heart. Because when the whole life becomes sadhana, then practice begins becoming yoga. If this message touched something inside you, save this video. Share it with someone who is practicing yoga but still feels something is missing. And if you want the 7-day traditional yoga lifestyle guide, comment yoga. May your body become steady. May your breath become refined. May your senses become disciplined. May your mind become clear. May your heart become pure. May your action become worship. And may your whole life become yoga. Jai Gurudev.